Tonight on Band in Seattle, the Rumba Kings bring a bold, spirited, romantic blend of Latin and Mediterranean-inspired music to our stage. Welcome to Band in Seattle.
In 2010, I started looking to put a band together, something with star power, something with a big production. So I started auditioning musicians from 2010 into May of 2015. I auditioned at least half of the guitar players in Seattle that played nylon guitar at that point, and nothing really pushed me over the edge. Then a friend of mine who owns a restaurant in Edmonds, Washington, calls me and says, "Hey Johnny, this guitar player came in and played a set in my bar." And he goes, "You've never seen a guy play like this before." When I went to see George play, I sat down, he started playing, and within 30 seconds, every emotion in my body, every cell in my body was saying, "There he is." So he went and had a cigarette break, came back in, walks up to me, and he says, "I really love that suit you're wearing. I love the lapels. What is that?" And I go, "Forget the suit, forget the lapels. You and I need to get together and talk music."
We actually got together the very next day and started going to work on a project. And it kind of just snowballed into idea after idea after idea.
I played him my stuff, he played me his stuff, and he said, "I've been waiting for this my whole life." And I said, "So have I." What really attracted me to George's playing was the emotion in it, and that's really the best way to put it.
Everything is done with passion and emotion. It's usually never about showing off how fast I could play, because I can play fast, not to brag or anything, but it doesn't make it pretty. It needs to be beautiful and emotional and passionate to me.
The guy is amazing. The way he plays guitar, the emotion that comes out of it is truly something you can't find easily. Yeah.
It's also the delivery of his playing, the way he plays, and he puts the guitar in the air when he's getting into an emotional spot, and the way his face expressions and the way he moves. It's the whole package.
Lisa is one of my favorites. It's a very passionate song. It's about my wife. Her name is Lisa, and we got married when I was 17 years old. We had an arranged marriage, and the first day we met was the day we got married. 26 years later, it's been wonderful. We have a great relationship. She's my everything.
After the break, discover more about the Rumba Kings.
The name the Rumba Kings can be a little deceiving because we're really not just a Rumba band. We're kind of all over the place. I called Josh up after I got his name, and we brought him in for a rehearsal. And right after the rehearsal, it was like, you got the job. I mean, this is, again, one of the best musicians I've ever worked with, and boy, can he play drums. Arabic is a song that George brought to us. It was written by a gentleman in California named Danny Fender, who George worked with for many, many years. When George brought it to me in my studio, I was just in love with it. I said, we need to take this and really produce it. It was never produced or recorded properly, so we put it under the microscope, really worked out all the parts, and made it into a really beautiful production. The Rumba Kings can be a little deceiving because we're really not just a Rumba band. I mean, there's Arabic influences in our music, there's Latin influences in it, there's Mediterranean influences in it. So we're kind of all over the place. A good portion of our set list is Rumba based, but there's a lot of it that I kind of call instrumental pop, and pop with vocals in it as well. We were looking for a quartet to accompany the band. After watching a bunch of the videos that Arcobaleno Strings had online, I was really impressed with them and especially their first violinist. So we brought them in for a show to kind of see how it went, and they nailed it. I mean, perfect. And we were really impressed with Rachel at that point as the first violin. So we thought we want to incorporate her more into the show and give her more of a spotlight. So we've crafted a bunch of the songs in the show to fit her in so she could solo on a lot of these songs.
Yeah, Gypsy's Tear was written on the anniversary of my grandfather's passing. It was late at night and I was thinking about them, and the melody came to me, and I think I wrote that song in about 20 minutes. The whole song came to me in about 20 minutes. I like to think it was my grandfather sending me a little message.
That was one of the first songs that we recorded in the band, and I remember he brought it into my studio and started playing it, and I thought, wow, that is just beautiful. Let's start with that.
When we return, find out more about the Rumba Kings.
I wanted something where everybody stops eating and stops drinking. They have their fork next to their mouth, and they're like, oh my God, what is this? Came across Jake on Facebook on some short videos, and I was just blown away. I mean, Jake is one of the best musicians I've ever met in my life. He is on another level entirely. It's an honor to play with Jake. He's just off the charts. Love from Mykonos is a song that we started recording at the beginning of summer 2022. George had written this song and submitted it to be on a record or as a single about a year ago. And we kind of backburnered it until we were ready to start production. Once we started recording it, it really turned into something just so beautiful, pretty much how I envisioned it in my mind. I ended up taking the demos to Greece this summer. I would listen to them on my patio in Mykonos. You know, the beauty of Greece in the summertime and the warm air at night, and just sit there, drink my scotch and listen to this song on repeat. And I thought, wow, this just fits this vibe so good that I wanted to shoot a music video for it. So I brought some video equipment with me, had my girlfriend there with me, and I started filming the music video with her as kind of the theme while we were in Mykonos. And then when I got back to Seattle, I started filming George, and it came out to be just a masterpiece video. I'm always looking to improve my musicianship, just to be a better and better musician every year, and also to be a better producer every year. I just want to keep evolving and getting better and better.
I'm always striving to be a better musician and a better songwriter. When people come to our concerts, I want them to have an experience like they've never seen before.
I don't want to be in a band where you go and you drink and you talk to your friends at the table while the band's playing. I never want to be one of those musicians. I wanted something where everybody stops eating and stops drinking. They have their fork next to their mouth if we're playing in a dinner theater, and they're like, oh my God, what is this? And the next day to say, you're not going to believe what I just saw last night.
Want to go, and the vision we have at the moment is going towards more musicians instead of a quartet, a full orchestra, integrating more guitar players and making this on a grand scale of the type of band that could fill an auditorium anywhere in the world.
I see this band on an international stage with a much bigger production. Right now, we're limited to the stage sizes and the budget sizes. Once I get the right budget and the right stage, I think it's going to be the most beautiful show in the world.
To uncover more about our bands, go to bandinseattle.com.